Playoff Sims, Playoff Sims, Playoff Sims, play.
Happy Wednesday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, of course, presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use that code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by Jose Perez himself. We've got Erik, Ruben the Deli Man behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Some familiar faces and some unfamiliar faces in the chat. Regardless, we appreciate everybody hopping in here on Wednesday to discuss everything going on with the Arizona State Sun Devils and Rubis. The menu is absolutely loaded today. Of course, we are going to hear from Kenny Dillingham and Marcus Arroyo in regards to those Sam Leavitt reports that came out yesterday. We've got another update on Arizona State wide receiver Jordyn Tyson, who practiced for the second straight day. Definitely a positive update, or at least I would think that it is positive, but we'll see what everybody thinks. But honestly, I want to start somewhere that I didn't think we'd be discussing 24 hours ago, and that is the fact that if you tuned into the college football playoff ranking show last night, then you saw at number 25, the Arizona State Sun Devils, sitting at 7-3 on the year. No Sam Leavitt, no Jordyn Tyson over the last month, no Ben Coleman, no Xavier Alford, no Cyrus Fiaseyu. No problem is what Kenny Dillingham has to say. Again, this team at number 25 in the latest batch of CFP Rankings. Rubis, what a time to be alive.
I think we just need to step back and take a second. Excuse me. I'm just so flustered at how amazing this is. This team has gone through so much crap this season. Not just the Sam Leavitt injury, not just the Jordyn Tyson injury, but a smorgasbord of other injuries from the start of this season. And here they are with 2 weeks left in the season, with important football games left to play, a shot at the Big 12 championship still alive, and number 25 in the college football playoff rankings. Obviously, I think a lot of us expected them to be higher at this point in the season, but guess what? Stuff happens, things change. So much has happened to this program over the season, and they are one resilient group. This is a massive testament, not just to the big names that we talk about, the Kenny Dillinghams, the Jeff Sims, the Keith Abneys, the CJ Fights. This is a testament to the entire roster, to the depth, to all the assistant coaches and the coordinators. Look, the season is, I don't want to treat it like a charity case and just like, oh, wow, this is it. They could still go up. They could still continue to rise in all of this. It's just a really big testament to the resiliency of this program and what's been a very up and down year.
Yeah, I think it's remarkable to be at this point in the year, given everything that this team has overcome, right? We threw out some names off the top, but we're talking about QB1, wide receiver 1, your starting center, one of your rotating linebackers, a starting safety, just to name a few of the players that have missed significant time, not just like missing a game or two, right? Like Arizona State has leaned on its backup quarterback over the last 3-4 weeks of the season. You haven't seen the wide receiver 1, Jordyn Tyson, in a month, right? Obviously, he returned to practice this week, but he hasn't played in a game since they beat Texas Tech. Cyrus Fiaseyu hasn't played in a number of games. Ben Coleman out pretty early on in the year, along with Xavier Alford, who didn't even get a play in a Big 12 game here in 2025. So we're talking about key pieces, or what was expected to be key pieces of this team that Arizona State hasn't had the luxury of being able to play with in 2025. It's a team that I think has really, really embodied the next man up mentality. And I know that it's such a cliche in sports, right? Where it's like somebody goes down and it's next man up and they perform how they perform. But to see this team play the way that they have, right, against West Virginia, against Texas Tech, against Iowa State, like, it has not been the same group in the same performance every week. It's been something different, right? This team has had to scratch and claw every single game at this point in the year to find ways to win. And we said it on Saturday after the game when people were in the chat upset. It doesn't matter really how you get the job done. It just matters that you do it. And that's what this team and this program have really leaned on in 2025 without a number of their key players. It's exciting to see at this team at this point in the year, again, at number 25, with a game that should be a relatively favorable matchup for Arizona State in Colorado this Saturday night. And then you have what's going to be a highly anticipated Territorial Cup in just a few short weeks that ultimately, if things go the way, for Arizona State that you'd want them to, then that Territorial Cup game could very much be a win. And we'll see what happens about the returning to the Big 12 championship, which, again, if you would have told any Arizona State fan that this is the circumstances that they're in, right, after the Utah game, right, or after, let's go a step further, after the Houston game, right, where you lost a game that felt like you got dominated, ended your home win streak, QB1's out for the foreseeable future, wide receiver 1's still out for the foreseeable future, and I'm sitting here telling you on November 19th that Arizona State is ranked number 25 in the college football playoff rankings, not the AP top 25 trash that's out there, the actual rankings that matter. And in all honesty, they should be favored in their next two games with still having a chance to go to the Big 12 championship. You would be sitting there after that Houston game looking at me like I was from a far, far away universe. And this is the reality that we're in. And what makes it even better is that I think there are guys on this team that people have said nasty things about online, that have tried to bring down and trash. And this team is getting it done because of them, not in spite of them. And I think that is a super awesome place to be for this program as it stands right now.
Look, Jeff Sims has been Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week the last two games that he's played. Right? Like, the ASU offensive line was the offensive line of the week against Iowa State. These are not just from a team perspective, this team's finding a way to pull through. We are seeing literally historic individual performances throughout this season in the post Sam Leavitt, Jordyn Tyson part of it. And again, you and I have talked countless times about how important those two guys are. We spent all of yesterday pretty much talking about Sam Leavitt, obviously with that news coming out, and the success that the team is having without them doesn't take anything away from who they are and what they bring to this program. But it is just such a big testament to what this program really is. And no matter what moving forward, as long as you have Kenny Dillingham at the helm and you have the same type of guys in the building, even 5 years from now, you'll have a completely different set of players. If they have the same mindset, the same mentality as these last Arizona State teams that we've seen, even the one a couple of years ago that only won 3 games but fought like hell every single weekend, they're going to be all right. And
they'll be more than all right. They'll be better than half the country at this point.
I mean, being in the top 25, and Wes Beasy in the chat said it earlier, we're kind of spoiled from last year. Being in the top 25 is not a small deal. No. How many teams are in the country, huh? Hundreds.
This is the real one, too.
This is the real one. It's not the trash from the AP.
This is the ball knower top 25.
It is. It absolutely is. Heck, there's one other team in this state that I guarantee you would be salivating at the chance to be ranked inside the top 25 in the college football playoff rankings. They're not, though. Right? And I do want to continue, obviously, talking about Arizona State. We still have a ton to get to. Josh, I see your super chat. I want to get to that here in a second as well. But the Big 12 as a whole, Erik, I think got a lot of respect last night in those rankings. Of course, Arizona State coming in at number 25. At number 23, Houston entered the chat as well. Utah sitting at number 12. BYU, maybe the most surprising one, not just out of the Big 12, but maybe the nation, coming in at number 11, and then Texas Tech at number 5. In terms of teams that were dropped from the rankings in the Big 12, Cincinnati, they fell out of the rankings after their loss to Arizona. I mean, just what do you think about the respect or lack thereof, maybe, that the Big 12 received in this latest batch of rankings?
BYU continues to fascinate me because I think that they are much better than I thought they were going to be throughout this year, especially early on when they were winning some pretty crazy games. This past weekend was definitely the most I've ever started believing in BYU. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not out here, saying they're going to win the Big 12 and whatever, but they looked really good. And to respond to losing to Texas Tech, who I think is clearly the top team in the conference, to lose to Tech, to bounce back, and to take care of a TCU team that we considered, at the bottom upper half of this conference at the time, is impressive. And the way that they did it, I mean, a 90-something yard drive that you don't even get to a third down, the poise from Bear Bachmeier, their defense being suffocating, LJ Martin continuing to be one of the best backs, a couple of great wide receivers as well. As much as it pains me to say, BYU's looking very legit, and I'm interested to see from a Big 12 perspective, Totri, if there are two Big 12 teams that find their way into the college football playoffs, I think that if things don't go the way that ASU needs them to go, there is a chance that happens.
You know what's wild to think about is I would not be entirely shocked that if there are two teams in the two teams in the college football playoff that represent the Big 12, I would not be shocked if one of those teams wasn't BYU. Even if they make the Big 12 championship, I could see a world where Tech wins the conference, gets the auto bid, and Utah just does a cakewalk over the next 2 weeks, but ultimately doesn't get into the actual championship game. I could 1,000% see a world where we're talking about Tech and Utah and BYU gets left out. Now, I know that would absolutely set the BYU fan base on fire in terms of social media. So that would be an interesting part to all of this, I think. But one thing that I do know is that this conference continues to be so much fun to watch and cover. And it's going to be, an even more exciting Saturday this week, because at least if you're an Arizona State fan, I know we'll be doing a watch along right here when Arizona State takes on Colorado. And simultaneously, you've got a big game for Arizona State that's taking place between Cincinnati and BYU that will have implications on the Big 12 championship. Again, these two games kick off at the same exact time. So if you're joining us for a watch along on Saturday, we will definitely have updates for you as that Cincinnati and BYU game is going. Again, if you're just now joining us, Arizona State comes in at number 25 in the latest college football playoff rankings. Some other notable spots, again, as it relates to the Big 12, if you're just joining us, Texas Tech coming in at 5, BYU coming in at number 11. You have Utah at number 12, and then bringing up the rear, Houston at 23, Arizona State at number 25. Now, of course, we have taken a look at Arizona State and the rankings from a national perspective through the first 15 minutes or so of this show, but we really need to zoom in on the program as a whole, because there are some interesting things, of course, going on over the last 48 hours. Kenny Dillingham, Marcus Arroyo were asked today about the Sam Leavitt rumors regarding whether or not he is going to return to Arizona State or enter the transfer portal. So we're going to let you guys hear from both of them here in just a little bit. And then we saw JT back at practice for the second day in a row, a positive sign. But is he trending toward playing or sitting out yet again? Potentially have an answer for you on the other side of our first break. Look, this weekend was great. It was phenomenal from top to bottom, and a big reason why for me is because I was sitting my happy ass on the couch watching UFC and indulging in pure edibles. Don't get me wrong, UFC, it's a lot of fun, it's great, but pure edibles, they honestly enhance anything that you're watching on TV. They also enhance your taste buds, to be honest with you. I know some of you guys are probably used to gummies that just taste like weed. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't. Personally, I don't like them, but that's why I like Pure Edibles, is because their gummies taste like candy. Pure is a full-fledged candy company offering gummies. They've got Kicks, which are their version of Starburst Chew, soft candies like caramel, and then hard candies as well. Another super awesome part of Pure Edibles is the fact that they've got gummies for a bunch of different, reasons. If you're somebody that maybe wants to uplift what you got going on, like me when I'm watching UFC or sports, try the uplifting ones. If you're somebody that has trouble sleeping, well, try the sleep support gummies as well. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona.
Earlier in the chat, we had, I believe it was Steven, talking about how expensive tickets to the Territorial Cup are. Well, if you want to find them for the lowest price guaranteed, you got to check out our friends over at Game Time. Look, I'm notoriously cheap. It is well known on all the shows that I'm on that I am a cheapskate. And if you don't think that I have tested Game Time's 110% price match guarantee, you'd be mistaken. I have tried to find lower price tickets so that Game Time pays me the difference, and I just can't do it. Plus, with Game Time, I know exactly what I'm going to pay up front, no hidden fees. I can see the view from my seat, and I have Game Time ticket coverage where my purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. And it's not just for college football, it's for all sports, for theater, for live shows, for comedy, whatever type of ticket you need, you have to go to Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. But again, terms apply. Create an account, redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. But Totri, you don't need tickets to what's going to happen after the Territorial Cup next weekend.
No, absolutely not. You guys can join us, myself, Rubus, the Deli Man, and a bunch of Arizona State fans for a live post-game show at Loco Patron on Mill. It is going to be an absolute blast. Friday, November 28th, about half hour after that final whistle. It is going to be one hell of a post-game party again. Loco Patron on Mill, Friday, November 28th, following that Territorial Cup. And this is courtesy of Captain Morgan himself, Rubus. It is going to be one hell of a day.
Word on the street, Totri, is for our pregame show. The captain might be helping us out as well.
Ooh, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I see hung your head. It looks like your mother gave you your iPad today, and it's hopefully
I think it's charged.
Yeah, it's charged today.
I bet there's so much like germs and he probably so much coughing into the hand, and then
it's
there's like goldfish crumbs in the case.
Yeah. I don't even know like goldfish. Like it's just crumbs, everywhere.
No,
regardless,
here's the thing.
Wes Beasy in the chat saying, let's see, I saw the comment here. Next season, I'm gonna donate one of my 4 tickets to the podcast for you guys to raffle off. Or something to a new VIP member. Just got to deal with sitting next to my loud ass in the family section. Regardless, I think that would be an absolute blast for any Arizona State fan, Wes Beasy. So we may have to hold you to that one. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I wanted to get to a super chat
before we do that.
Yeah.
Wes Beasy going to be here for the Territorial Cup?
Wes Beasy, he'll definitely be here for the Territorial.
Yeah, you got to show up to Local Patron.
We better see you at Local Patron.
Yeah, Wes Beasy, Captain Morgan shots?
Yeah. Captain Morgan shots? We'll see you there, Wes Beasy, and everybody else that's going to be in the chat that will hopefully be on over at Local
See you there.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be a blast. Let's go ahead and get to that super chat from Joshua Hutchins. Josh, we appreciate that super chat, saying, I think it's great that with all the problems we had this year, we have a chance to go 9-3 or go 10-3 with bowl games this year. We have a chance to do another 10-win season back to back. I mean, yeah, this program, all you could say is it is in great hands with Kenny Dillingham. And I think he had something, to say about it on Monday, just in terms of like his job is obviously to coach the team, but it's also to build this program. And I'm not sure how many people truly sit down and think about what that means, because I think there are a lot of folks that hear, you're the coach of this program and like, oh, with winning comes everything, right? All you got to do is win and the program will get good. If that were the case, then Todd Graham would still be the coach at Arizona State off of back-to-back 10-win seasons that he had, right? But that's not the case. It takes more to build this program than just success on the field. We've seen that in the past. And I think Kenny Dillingham is the first coach in a very long time to understand that at Arizona State. And again, I think he's doing a marvelous job with that. And if you don't think so, well, I mean, just look at the numbers. You're talking about a 7-3 football team that is ranked in back-to-back years now in the college football playoff rankings, which has never happened in the history of Arizona State. So that is absolutely wild to think about. But again, kind of transitioning to what was the majority of the story in Tempe yesterday, Sam Leavitt and the reports that he was unlikely or is unlikely to return to Arizona State in 2026. Just following the show, I spoke with someone that does have significant knowledge of the situation, and they told me that he is still weighing his options to return to Arizona State or enter the transfer portal. So this does echo what Dalen Leavitt had to say in his Instagram statement yesterday morning. Dalen, again, the brother of Sam and also Sam Leavitt's agent. So something to keep in mind throughout this entire situation. But I think everybody was excited, or really curious, I should say, to hear what Kenny Dillingham had to say or was going to say about the situation. He opted not to speak on Tuesday, but we did get to hear from Kenny Dillingham today, right after practice, on those Sam Leavitt reports. And this is what Arizona State's head coach had to say about the questions surrounding Arizona State's QB1.
Kenny, obviously the reporting that's gone on out there about Sam, what would you like to say about any of that?
Yeah, I'm focused on Colorado. I mean, these guys just had, I think, the best Tuesday, the best Wednesday that they've had in practice, potentially all year. I mean, we came out with a fire about us this week, so I'm excited about this week and trying to go play a 60-minute football game. We've yet to play our best game, so I want to go see that get done.
How do you respond when you see something like that reported, the conversations that you might have, and what you tell the team, any of those things?
Yeah, I really don't listen to the outside noise. I just focus on us and our program and what we're doing here. That's kind of my focus with everything, so I'm just focused on, like I said, I thought we had our best Tuesday and Wednesday this week. I'm fired up about it. I'm excited to see if we can go play a 60-minute football game.
Are you going to say anything about Sam Leavitt's situation?
I'm focused on Colorado and trying to play our best football game we can possibly play this Saturday. This team still has so much to play for. We're in the hunt. It's November, and we're playing meaningful football with 2 games left. Through all the adversity this team has faced, our games matter with 2 games left. There's not many teams who take the field and their games matter with 2 games left. We're one of those teams. I'm focused on that.
So are you concerned at all about it being a distraction to anybody?
No, we're focused on us. Our team, there's so many distractions out there in the world nowadays. We're so focused on us. Like I said, I thought we had our best Tuesday and Wednesday practice all camp.
I am not surprised about all the people in the chat right now talking about deflecting, Sam Leavitt's gone. Kenny Dillingham's going to go out there and speak for a kid and be like, he's not leaving, and then put him in a bad position. Kenny's going to say that he's not focused on the last couple of weeks of the season. Do you know how frustrating this has to be for Kenny and company to have all of this now coming out when there are still multiple weeks of important football to play? Look, could Sam Leavitt be gone? Absolutely. Do I trust your reporting 1,000,000%. And the fact that his mind still has not been made up. And that might mean that he decides to go. And that's entirely possible. It could mean that he decides to stay. Kenny's not going to put himself or a guy that he has a close personal relationship with that goes beyond football in a situation where he's making definitive statements and claims about something that he knows hasn't been decided yet. So I get why people are going to respond the way they're going to respond to that. But that is how football coaches answer questions like that in the middle of a season. That's how coaches answer questions like that in the middle of the season. You don't really get a lot from usually those types of topics in pressers and media availability.
Yeah, I'm not sure what everybody was expecting today going into this. If he was like, going to say, yeah, Sam's here or Sam's gone.
Let's bring up this comment from at the start of the show because they're talking about something that I said.
Yeah.
They said that this podcast is saying that Dilly gave the whole team, or no, not that. Hold on, excuse me. Basically, they were saying that I said that we would find out tomorrow. Like
we found out.
We could find out tomorrow, as early as tomorrow. But that was in the case where if Sam was actually leaving for sure, Kenny would tell everyone that he was leaving for sure.
Yeah.
That's just how this guy operates.
And I don't even think Kenny, I think, again, Kenny has never been the type of coach that is going to speak, like you said, Erik, speak for his players, right? Not in regards to these types of situations, right? Like everything that Kenny does is, in my mind, to better these guys as human beings, as players, as men, etc. Which, if you're a man, then you are going to speak for yourself about this type of decision. When Sam Leavitt is ready to make a decision, it will be out there for everybody, and Sam will be the one to make that decision, right? Will Kenny Dillingham be asked about it, after, whether Sam stays or goes? Absolutely, right? It would be journalistic malpractice not to ask Kenny, when that decision ultimately comes down, what he thinks about it, if he knew about it, etc. But again, like he said, there's still a lot to play for this team over the course of the next 2 weeks and potentially beyond in the postseason. So am I at all surprised that his answer was, I'm not thinking about it, right? I'm focused on Colorado. No, absolutely not. I'm not surprised because this is the same type of person that Kenny has been since he got here. At every single stop, right, of every single, situation or news break or hot story that's come out over the last 3 years that Dilly's been here, has he ever once not been Kenny Dillingham? Was there ever, the thought in the back of anyone's head that Kenny was going to go up there today and say, you know what? Saw the reporting. It is what it is. Sam's going to do what's best for Sam, etc. I'm so distracted. I actually can't focus on the game about it. Again, I don't know what the expectation was. In all honesty, again, you have to ask these types of questions. For me, I think we learned, at least I and myself, learned a lot more from Kenny's response to Blake Neiman's question about surgery, about his conversations with Sam post-surgery. I think you'll learn a lot more from that answer, or at least I did. This was Kenny's answer to Blake Neiman's question about his conversations with Sam.
Oh yeah, he's doing great. I mean, on the road to recovery, we've had lots of conversations. I mean, Sam's my guy. I have a great relationship with Sam. Everything I've ever said about him is absolutely true.
This is, I think, what everybody wanted as an answer to the first question, but it was worded kind of in a different way, or I guess he was technically asked something different about his conversations with Sam. And evidently, his relationship with Sam is still solid. He says Sam's his guy. They've had multiple conversations. I think you're absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs if you don't think that among those conversations, Kenny and Sam have talked about the chances of Sam entering the transfer portal, right? Like, you would be, I think, again, not in your right mind to think that those conversations have been had about whether Sam wants to stay or go, right? So, I think you learned more from that answer than you did any other question at the media availability today.
Well, look, Kenny's always been the type of guy that if you're leaving, it's no hard feelings, right? I mean, this is a guy who believes in Sam Leavitt, who loves Sam Leavitt as a person and as a football player, and that's not going to change. He's going to remain genuine. Also, if Kenny Dillingham goes out there and starts speaking for Sam Leavitt, when I'm sure he knows better than anybody what the situation is going on right now and where his head is. If he goes out there and says something disingenuous or that's not factual about how Sam is feeling, hey, that's a first-class ticket to Sam leaving Tempe, right? So he can't go out there and say anything definitive because that makes him, his program, his player all look bad if it goes the opposite way. And also, Blake Neiman shared on his Instagram story a post from, I believe it was the doctor that did Sam's surgery or has been involved in his recovery, about how Sam was advised to stay home from the West Virginia game. And he still showed up early before the game, before all the fans showed up, to be with his teammates, to give a tour, I think, to a specific ASU fan, and not sweat in his cast, which is the doctor's mandate for what he cannot do for his recovery. And then he was gone. Like, people are so quick to assume the worst about a guy that has shown that he has been great for this program and is invested in this program. And I don't believe that Sam Leavitt would have wanted that reporting out there in the middle of the season. Now, I could be wrong. This isn't me reporting. I'm not close to the situation. But to me, this just feels like really bad timing, and I don't feel like anybody at ASU really wants this. But at the end of the day, this team has dealt with much worse adversity because a rumor from a reporter doesn't actually affect how you play on the football field or who's available for you. You know who's available. You know who your quarterback is this weekend. Focus on Colorado and go kick some ass. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's 100% fair. I think, again, like Arizona State fans, I understand the desire to kind of be locked into the Sam Leavitt situation from a mentality standpoint of, like, I wonder what quarterback one's doing, right? I wonder if Sam Leavitt's coming or if he's leaving in 2026. But in reality, we're in 2025, right? And what we know here in 2025 is that Sam Leavitt is not playing the rest of the season. You know who is? Jeff Sims and the rest of the guys on this Sun Devil roster. And they still have 2 games in the regular season with a chance to go to the Big 12 championship. And if not, play in a really, really good bowl game that would be big for this program. Now, again, I said it yesterday. If Sam Leavitt decides at the end of the day that his best course of action is to enter the transfer portal and go to some other school, I get that you, as an Arizona State fan, you have every right to be frustrated that he is not going to be your quarterback again. But I've seen it already. Like, the idea that because a kid makes his decision that, ultimately is leaving the school that you support to better his future in his mind, doesn't mean that you should go online or trash the kid or do X, Y, and Z. It's just, you don't need that, right? And at the end of the day, like, he was a big reason why this team had so much success last year, right? And this year at times. He helped bring a Big 12 championship, a conference championship to Arizona State. If he wants to go do what he thinks is best for him, then that's what he wants to do, and you should support him because he supported this program for a long, long period of time. And again, I say that because it's a possibility, right? I'm not saying that it's a foregone conclusion that Sam Leavitt's not going to be back, right? That's why I reported what I reported yesterday, is that he still isn't sure what he wants to do, right? How many weeks ago was it that we had the whole Kenny Dillingham conversation of, is he going to go to LSU? Is he going to go to Florida? And all of it, right, was you want to put a little pressure on the administration, right? You want to see what the administration was going to do. Are you really backing college football? Are you really backing this program? And ultimately, he got what he wanted out of it, which was to stay at Arizona State. And he feels that the university is backing college football 1,000%, right? Who's to say that Sam Leavitt is not doing the same exact thing? Who is to say that Sam Leavitt, again, this is not reporting, this is strictly opinion here. Who is to say that Sam Leavitt and his camp didn't, maybe try and put this out at a certain point? Not that they wanted it to come out yesterday the way that it did, because I think Dalen put it out there very clearly that this is not where they're at, right?
His agent.
But, yeah. Who is to say that's not the case, where Sam wants to see if Arizona State is going to go all in, right, on him and on this program? And again, I'm not saying that this is what's happening. I'm saying it's certainly a possibility, as is a number of things going on with this situation. But at the end of the day, like, whoever is playing quarterback for this team in 2026, It doesn't matter right now. We're in the middle of the 2025 season with a lot to play for. Evidently, the coaches aren't worried or focused about it, right? Which thank God, I'd be very, very upset and worried if Kenny did have a long prepared answer as to why he's upset or what he's thinking about with this Sam Leavitt news. You want your coach to say, I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about the team that we have to play in 4 or 5 days on the road, right? That's what you want your coach to say. Again, everything's still up in the air, but you know what's going to get you your star quarterback to return or not, or maybe go get an even better quarterback, right? Winning football games. That's what's going to get the job done. And so if Arizona State can win their next 2 games and, find a way back to Dallas for that Big 12 championship game, I don't think you got to worry who's going to be playing quarterback in 2026. Because if Kenny Dillingham can get this team, a team that's been gutted with injuries all year long, back to the Big 12 championship game, then I think you should feel very, very confident with what his vision and this staff are going to do in 2026 with this roster. Again, I get the want to discuss it from an Arizona State fan perspective. I see that. But again, it's kind of we're in a holding pattern at this point, right? The ball is in Sam Leavitt's court at this point. Whether he decides to stay or leave, that's not necessarily going to change what is at stake this Saturday. And that's Colorado, Erik.
F it. We ball. That's the motto now. And we will continue to ball on the other side of this break.
Look, Rubus and I have what I would like to call a collection of branded Bills hats. Now, when you hear collection, what do you think? 5, 10? Nah. We're talking 20 plus branded Bills hats. Rubus has a closet full of them, and he's rocking a new one every single day. And why wouldn't you? They're super comfy, they're super affordable, and of course, they're super breathable, which we know is important here in the Valley. And they've got you covered with whatever you need. Don't let this ad read stop you from the thirst traps, Rubus. Continue to do whatever you're doing with the caps there. Look, they've got you covered with snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees. Branded Bills. They've also got you covered with performance and style. Not to mention, they've got partnerships with 40 universities, including Arizona State, U of A, as a part of their campus collection as well. They also partner with Erik Ruby's Phoenix Suns. And of course, they're a local company from Mesa, Arizona. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use that code BB, PHNX, for 15% off your first order.
Look, we joke around on here, but sometimes life gets serious, and you want to be prepared in case you, your friend, your family, someone you know is in a serious accident or unfortunately faces a wrongful death. That's why you need to call Mark and Alexis Breyer, the husband and wife law team, first. Please write this number down just so that you have it in case you need it. 602-783-8841. That is the number of a law firm with attorneys that actually go to trial, that are 100% dedicated to injury and wrongful death litigation. And while nobody can guarantee the outcome of a case, they are happy to make you personal guarantees, as they do all their clients. You can cancel their fee agreement at any time for any reason. You will receive at least as much in your pocket as they receive for their fee, even if they've to reduce their attorney's fee to do so. You may speak with one of their lawyers as often as you choose about anything you want to discuss, and they will always be upfront with you about the merits and maybe the weaknesses of your claim so that you can make informed decisions. If you've had a serious injury or you want to be prepared, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show notes and tell them PHNX sent you.
Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button again. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Regardless of if you're an Arizona State fan or a troll or a child with an iPad, we appreciate you being in the chat today. Again, I think Wes Beasy said it earlier. People are so obsessed with Arizona State that we have trolls here on a Wednesday afternoon just spewing hate. That's all they got. That's all they got, man.
ASU has motion, man. BYU is the 11th ranked team in the college football playoff rankings. They have one loss this season. And here is a fan on Wednesday, November 19th, just mucking it up with us Sun Devils, huh?
Saying Tech's just okay, by the way. Saying Tech is just an okay
Tech
team.
whooped your ass, but
Yeah. I mean, they beat you, we beat them, which means we're your daddy. That's what that means.
We beat you last year.
ASU equals BYU's papa.
Grandpappy.
Grandpappy.
Because
That's
we're
what it is.
ASU is TTU's dada.
Dada. So wait, we're Texas Tech's daddy.
And then Texas Tech is BYU daddy.
So we are
Grandpapa.
BYU's granddaddy.
Grandpapa.
Hey, respect your elders, hung yo head. Respect your elders. Come on now.
And stop coughing in your hand and rubbing it on your face. It's gross.
and wipe the screen. Wipe the crumbs off your iPad.
Why is it
man.
so greasy?
I don't know. I don't know why it's.
Dude, what if they're like 50?
Stop sniffing every 5 seconds.
What if they're
Also,
like
cover your
50
mouth
or
when you
60?
cough with your elbow.
Oh God, I love it. Hung yo has said we beat Utah, who ran all over you. Yeah, we are your daddy. I think maybe
Stepdad.
we just have to go back to when we played last. And last time I checked, ASU beat BYU twice actually in the same game at our place. So again, just making sure you saw that one. Not sure if your mom lets you stay up to watch that one. But
it was a day game, but maybe,
I know. But Buddy has nap
maybe
time,
they're at Little League practice.
Yeah, something along those lines. But look, Kenny wasn't the only one to respond to the Sam Leavitt reports. Offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo was also asked about it. Again, I think it's relatively relevant to the situation just because we know the relationship that Marcus, Kenny, and Sam all have. It's a pretty tight-knit relationship between the three, which is exactly what you want from quarterback to OC to head coach. So this is what Arizona State's OC Marcus Arroyo had to say when asked about the ongoing Sam Leavitt room.
Yeah, I mean, our coach is going to address all the same stuff. That's my job, is to try to make sure we're under center right now, getting some center quarterback exchanges after practice and put us in position for Jeff to have another good game and our offense to go into a hostile environment late in November and play a good football game. So I'm excited about the week we've had. They've done a heck of a job, and I'm really focused on these guys not taking their foot off the gas and being able to finish these games.
It's sad that he just said Sam Leavitt's leaving and the program's over and dissolving and football is going to cease to exist. And it's just really sad, man. It's just so over. It's so over. God, you know how annoying it probably has to be for them, man. Like this is the most important 2-game stretch of the season. They have done wonders with Jeff Sims, and Jeff Sims has done wonders for them. And here they are talking about a stupid ass report in the middle of the season. It's got to be so
Hims, baby.
Jeff Hims,
Jeffrey
man.
Hims.
Jeffrey.
Can we just? I mean, Jeff Sims, man. I just want to say this, and I think we'll put it out maybe on social or as a short or something later. But I think, and you were there, Deli Man, so you can attest to this. Marcus Arroyo, I think, had a really fascinating comment today about Jeff Sims and his progression and development from a backup as a starter, and just simply like addressing and talking about the reps, right? Where he's talking about as a backup quarterback, right? When Sam's in there, or really any university, if we're talking about a 10-play rack, then you're getting 2 to 3, maybe 4 of those 10 plays as a backup quarterback to rep those plays out. Right now, Jeff is getting 8, 9, sometimes the entire rack of reps, which ultimately is going to, for him, I think it's going to speed up development. It's going to make him a better quarterback. How hard would it be, in theory, to be amazing at something that you're only getting 30% of the share of, right? If we were doing this show 10 times and you were only on it 3 of the 10, odds are you're just not going to be as good as me, right? Or vice versa, right? If you were hosting and I only got 3 of the 10 reps, you would be a whole hell of a lot better than I was, right? So for Jeff Sims to get all the reps here, or at least a lion's share of them, I think you're starting to see how that is translating to the game, especially as he's gotten older as a quarterback as well. And I think, honestly, like if you're an ASU fan, there's no reason you shouldn't be excited to see Jeff Sims against Colorado and what he is, potentially going to accomplish. Like you said off the top, like his last 2 games that he's played, the following week, he is the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. he is an exciting player who is really trending in the right direction.
He's breaking records. Records.
And winning games.
He's winning games on the road, and he's breaking records. Totri.
He's breaking records, man.
He's breaking records. Look, there's never been any doubt about his physical tools, his traits. I remember a year and a half ago in the middle of the quarterback competition that was Sam Leavitt versus Jeff Sims going into last season, Kenny Dillingham talking about how they're both Sunday guys and watching them. Like, Jeff had all the tools, man. He had all the tools. It is hard to be in a starter's mentality as a backup. It is why if you have a good backup quarterback in the NFL, like, that guy's going to be on your team for a long time, and that player is going to be in the league for a long time, even though they're not a starting quarterback. Jeff has now been in a position where he knows he's the guy. Beyond the schematics, beyond the personnel, beyond the reps of it, mentally knowing that you're the guy and that on Saturday you are going to play every single snap as long as you are healthy, that changes a lot of the times how a guy can feel going into a game. So he has responded incredibly because it can change for the negative sense or it could change for the positive. We have seen just massive improvement and probably the two best weeks of Jeff Sims in his entire time in college football.
Yeah, that's facts. If you have access to the Sims emoji, go ahead and throw it in there. If you are a part of the Simoji, if you're a part of the supporters club, which I see Chris, Wes Beasy, a number of you guys in here, just litter the chat with some emojis because it's awesome. It's great. And I think, honestly, Green M&M has asked the single greatest question in the history of questions. And that is, or I guess it's not a question, it's just a statement. Can't wait to see which NFL team tanks for him. Talking about Jeff Sims.
Hashtag suck for Sims.
I mean, Jeff Sims, Sunday guy, man. And also, I want to applaud the chat. I don't know if here in 2025, we've had much of this where it's like trolls coming in and saying what they're going to say. So it hasn't necessarily given, this fan base a chance to respond. But y'all are standing 10 toes down on business, defending Arizona State, and it's awesome. It's great. Don't worry. Hung Yo Head's iPad is going to die here any minute now. Or his mom's going to take it away, one of the two.
No, he has it on a timer, so the screen time will lock it. Yeah, that's why he's just spamming the bear Bachmeyer mode, because he doesn't have access to anything else.
The keyboard locked?
Yeah, the keyboard locked.
Tough. That is really tough. Sunday Sims, for sure, Machiavelli. If you guys are wondering how you get access to the Sims emoji or any of the emojis, you got a Kenny emoji in there, a bunch of them. All you got to do is join the supporters club. It's super easy, Rubus. And it costs you what? Cup of coffee a month?
Yeah.
And you
It's
get super
it's the entirety of Hung Yo Head's allowance. Just $5.
I think that's bold of you to assume that he gets $5 a month.
If he's good, if he does his chores.
If he does his chores.
Yeah.
Doesn't strike me as a do your chores kind of guy.
No, he's definitely like a play Fortnite and throw Mountain Dew. Oh, not Mountain Dew, but throw uncaffeinated beverage at mom when she tells you to get off.
There you go. 100%. Oh, man. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review. Wherever you get your podcast, you want to be careful, Hung Your Head. Any of those comments, they might get you. They might get you muted.
Yeah.
Which would 100% ruin your day, man.
I'll have to silence you soon if you stop that.
I'll have to. The silencer.
The
Deli Man is also the silencer.
Yeah, let's not talk about any of that stuff.
Also, it's been brought up a number of times, Erik, throughout today's show. Smack the A. Where are we?
No,
Where are we? We're about a week away, man, from
Nope, goodbye.
I don't have any
from the
plans
reunion of Smack the A.
I don't have any plans for a new song. Shane has shamed me into not doing it. That being said, it might see a revival on Twitter, possibly.
Potentially. All I know is Arizona State is 1-0 when you diss U of A in a song.
Do I need? I don't know if I can get a music video out. That's the thing. Because I
don't think people are begging for a music video. I think people just, it's an annual tradition. It's like when your favorite artist drops a new track. Like you're amped for it, right? It's this time of year when
do I do
when
this?
everyone's
I don't
like,
know. We'll see. I've got a busy
maybe
week.
we get a Totri feature on it. Maybe
That's what you said last time. You're so
but if
full
you're
of
willing
shit,
to
dude.
go, if
That's
you're
what you
willing to
said
go
last
back to back, bro, if you're willing to go back to back and do another one, then I'd hop on. I'd hop on for.
Do we
for
do
a
the
feature.
same beat? Or do we do a different beat? Like a Smack the A remix with the same hook?
I don't know, man. I don't know. We got a beat meeting on Friday. Maybe we sit down and we discuss what we got to do
Dude,
for a Smack the A revival.
I can see Shane's face on the other side of the computer right now. I can't, but
he
I
hasn't
can.
smiled a single time since we've been talking about it, by the way.
The thing is, when Captain Redbeard
Salami surveillance is up.
The thoughts of it, Captain Redbeard was all for it. Captain
was.
Redbeard was pro Smack the A.
Of course he was.
I'll never forget driving to that horrendous town of Tucson, and it was just like such a struggle to tweet out that video.
Dude, the service was so bad, and I'm like, I need to tweet it.
I wonder why. I think the universe was trying to tell you something.
Yeah, but
dude, the universe wasn't trying to tell me anything because we won.
Do you think
content?
You think the song won the game?
They probably played it in the locker room. Yeah.
All we know is they are 1-0.
Okay, hung your head. You're getting silenced
when Dilly says that.
You can't talk to Chat Mom like that.
Absolutely not. Bye, hung your head. We'll see you next time.
He's not gone. He's just getting silenced for a bit.
Damon, who shows up, of course, says, "Do it, Erik. Don't just make cringe songs. Rude. When you know you're going to win, stand on business." First of all, I don't know what cringe song you're talking about. I'm sorry that I threw your sweet picture of Teteroa McMillan on the ground and shattered it. But yeah, look, I'm waiting for the U of A diss track. I've heard that they're going to be favored in this game, so
they're not going to be favored in the game.
I'm waiting for the Damon and Kevin diss track. That's all I'm.
Ralph with the stat of the day. BYU has never beat the Kansas Jayhawks in football. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Look, the last thing that we are going to get to today, maybe one of the more important things, but today has just been an absolute loaded baked potato of a show, is the Jordyn Tyson update. Is he going to play against his former team? We're going to answer that question on the other side of our final break.
I want everybody to understand that I am being so serious right now, and this is not me like making anything up for an ad or whatever. I had a conversation with my wife this morning. She asked me, "Erik, what's your favorite part of the house?" I named a couple of things, and she goes, "You want to know what my favorite part is?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Our thermostat." I'm serious. She said, "Our thermostat," and of course, we have a smart thermostat, and you can get a smart thermostat with APS, and honestly, it's life-changing. This morning, I was super tired. I was up super late for the Suns postgame last night. 9 p.m. tip? Yuck! Guess what? It was too cold for me to want to get out of bed this morning, so what did I do? I jumped on my phone, I opened up my app, and I adjusted my smart thermostat to make it nice and warm for your boy, because we know that I'm Chicken Little. I can't, be in these bad conditions. I've got to be pampered, and the smart thermostat, well, that helps me out tremendously, whether you're hosting this holiday season or just trying to find the best way to save some money and take advantage of lower cost off-peak hours. APS is here for you with a smart thermostat. And if you're an APS customer, visit aps.com/sale to learn how to get a new smart thermostat from as low as $0. Shipping and taxes not included. Other restrictions apply.
Look, we just heard it from Ruby. He's cozy when he's got his smart thermostat warming him up. I'm cozy knowing that my Mountain America My Style checking account has got perks just for me, which means that when you guys sign up with Mountain America Credit Union, your My Style checking account is going to have perks just for you. But what are those perks, Totri? Well, I'll tell you, chat. Restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offers on travel and events, and more. That's right, there is more. Make My Style your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Make sure you visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Also, Mountain America Credit Union going the extra mile, supporting local college athletes, providing $20,000 in scholarships to local student athletes each year. Plus, they're donating $250 to support university athletics for every field goal made this season. Again, learn more at macu.com/ASU, insured by NCUA. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans on approved credit. The silencer, the deli man. How'd JT look today, man? You were out there. I don't know what that means.
I mean, the first play I saw him run was like a slot fade where
he ended a scout corner's career.
Granted, yeah, it was a scout team slot corner, or a scout team player that was playing slot corner. Don't know if that's their typical position.
Well, are we thinking about the same one that? Are we thinking about the same guy here? You know who I'm thinking about?
No.
We're not thinking. We're thinking about the other one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if he's a traditional corner. The other guy that I'm thinking about is a corner, but I'm not gonna.
That's not good that he's a corner.
He's a scout team corner.
Yeah, that's not good. Anyway, looked explosive.
Yeah.
Looked a lot better than I thought he was going to look.
Yeah. So he was definitely a little ginger on it on Tuesday. That's why came on here and said, my expectation was that he was not going to play just based off what we saw on Tuesday. Now, again, I am not totally certain on what his progression will look like on Thursday. We don't have availability at practice. The media is not able to go see it. So we won't necessarily have an on-field update. We do get the first player availability report this evening. So expect to see Jordyn Tyson listed either as questionable or doubtful for the game. I would probably err on the side of questionable. But again, we will see. Dilly didn't really have a straight up answer. He said he could play, he may not play. One thing that really stuck out to me, though, is that Kenny said that JT has been pushing for this. He's been pushing for this game specifically to come back. So we know that JT transferred from Colorado to ASU. This is expected to be, his second to last regular season game in college football. I think there is, a lot of emotion for him going back to Folsom Field, playing this team, playing that coaching staff. So we'll see ultimately if he's able to be out there. But he did look a lot more explosive today. He didn't necessarily look like he did yesterday on Tuesday, where there was it felt like still a little bit of a limp to him. He was explosive today, and he wasn't going 100%. Dilly said, I want to say that he was going about 85, 90 out there. So we'll see. And Dilly said they'll see how his body responds to going at that pace tomorrow. But all signs for me point to this almost being a coin flip when we get to, at least as it stands right now. We'll see what Saturday looks like. But he looked much more comfortable today, looked far more explosive today. And we know he would be a dramatic addition to this offense.
Well, let's just take the personal stuff out of it. Jordyn Tyson's a competitor, and his team has a chance to get back to the Big 12 championship. Jordyn Tyson missed the Big 12 championship last year. Jordyn Tyson missed the Territorial Cup last year. He missed the college football playoffs last year. As a competitor, as a football player, you want to help your guys get to that spot again, and you want to be available. Now, he's still going to have to make the best decision for him and his career for the long-term future. And if there's any possibility that he's not ready, he should not play. But if he is good to go, you better believe he is going to go out there with a purpose, not just because it's Colorado and it's the team that he transferred from and all of that. No, it's because he cares about this team and he cares about winning and he cares about football. That's what it boils down to. And then there's a little extra on top of it.
Yeah, 1,000%. Green M&M says Dion booted him, right? Wasn't really on good terms. So Dion came in and we all heard about the Louis luggage, right? That he was bringing his guys. And ultimately it appears that Jordyn Tyson wasn't one of those guys. So he opted for the fake Louis, and in turn, he lost a Gucci bag. So I'm sure JT wants to get out there and really put it on display for the type of player that he is. And like you said, he wants to help his team win. He's a competitor, and there's still a lot to play for this season. Not to mention, not just in this game, but you go back to the Territorial Cup last year, right? Broke his collarbone, had a collarbone injury against U of A. I know that he wants to get back out there too, and do everything in his power to get this team back to a Big 12 championship, because he didn't get to play in the Big 12 championship last year. So a lot on the line, a lot for JT to still work through. But again, I would say this is a positive update. All signs far more positive today after practice than what we saw on Tuesday. So we'll see what that player availability report has tonight. We will definitely keep everybody updated. If you want those updates, make sure you follow the show at PHNX Sun Devils. Rubus, Daily Man, this has been an absolute jam-packed program. A ton of things to discuss. This is going to be our last show until Friday. And then we get to do a number of programs on Saturday, including a pregame show, a watch-along, a postgame show. I'm amped. I'm amped for Saturday. It's going to be an absolute blast.
It's been a minute. When's the last away game ASU
Iowa
had?
State.
Iowa State.
Which was
3 weeks ago?
4 weeks ago.
Because of the bye week.
It was 8 weeks ago.
A month ago.
It feels
Dude, I think that
so
was
long
last year.
ago.
Guys, that is going to do it for today's show. Again, hit that like button, the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts on the way out. Again,
It'll be 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
It'll be 3 weeks from
I tip my
Saturday.
cap to everybody who has spent their Wednesday afternoon discussing Arizona State and standing 10 toes on those Sun Devils when trolls come and say otherwise. Follow the show, PHNX _Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony _Totri. You can follow Chicken Little at Erik Ruby. That's Erik with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Deef.
I'm just ready to not listen to a diss track as always.
And we'll see you guys on Friday. In the meantime, go Devils in peace.
We all silly like the mayor.